Good morning, people. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, let's see what day it is. Yes, this is Spirit Journey, and today is January 2022, and the time is 4:42 a.m. Forget what day of the week it is. Let me check. Not even sure what day of the week it is. What day of the week it is? I think it's, let's see what day. Oh, wow. Today's Thursday. Wow, this week is going fast. Wow. Yes, today's Thursday, January 2022. And I've been up now for a while. Yes, I had half of my water already. And yeah, I probably woke up from sleep. I went to bed early. And I probably awakened around maybe 1 o'clock or 12:30. And I was just thinking of things in my life, and what I'm going to talk about, um, it's going to be, oh, my screen is getting blur. Brother, I hope it doesn't disconnect. Yeah, I've been getting poor YouTube streaming. I don't know what just happened. Come on. Very blur right now. Don't know why it's doing this all of a sudden. But I want to talk about some things. Um, it's personal. I woke up very introspective, and I feel like I've always been honest with you guys, and maybe part of me feels a little guilty, but my caption, my title for this live stream is Learning to Say No, Even If It Hurts. And have any of you ever grew up feeling unloved? That can happen. Yes, good morning, YouTuber. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, this will be an introspective conversation, um, discussion that I feel inside. I've always been honest with you guys. And I feel a little guilty, maybe a little guilty, but I think that's just my old self. I felt guilty about everything. You ever try to please everybody and you still feel guilty? You did your best. That's all what it is, what's happening. Um, yeah, I woke up very introspective about things. Yes, I'm thinking about. I think I discussed this part of what I'm going to talk about before. Um, I'm thinking about moving. I shared with you guys had gotten attacked um, in November, and then an attempted attack in September of last year, 2021. New York, I live in New York City, and this is the beautiful skyline that you see here out my window. And I feel, I don't know, back and forth about everything. I mean, I love my place, but I've been juggling what I want to do. I've been looking into things, and that'll be interesting. Let me throw it out there. Um, I'm thinking about places like the island of Madeira. Growing up, I learned about part of my heritage on my father's side. My great grandfather he either was born there or at least lived there at some point. He was a Portuguese man, and he did live in Madeira, the island of Madeira. It's actually off the coast of Africa. It's very close to West Africa. It's a part of the EU. So it's a part of Portugal. It was discovered by Portugal, and they sent people there. So it's a Portuguese place. Very pretty, the things that I've seen with it. And my great grandfather is noted saying the sun sets the best in Madeira. So I was really curious about this place, and I'm interested in investigating this place and going there. Actually, I'm interested in going there. I have been looking into. Um, there's a YouTube community of Black women who travel and expats. They they leave the U.S. and go to these places, and the women discuss their experiences. And one of the places, the consensus is go to Portugal. Yep, Portugal is on Western Europe. It's the farthest west country in Europe, and it's supposed to be really nice. Um, so I don't know. I have been getting paperwork on, I got the application for visa and all that. I'm trying to get all the information that I need. I know I'm kind of going, not talking directly about saying no, but it's all an introspection, and it's part of the journey. Uh, why I make mention of it? Because it involves, you know, the introspection that I was doing earlier today. It was regarding, well, actually, it was regarding Brazil. But Brazil is uh, a large country in South America that was taken over by the Portuguese, and you have a very large black population there. Um, and some of the people within the expat community have moved to Brazil. But I don't feel really called to go to Brazil, and that's part of the introspection that I wanted to talk to you about. I did talk about it in the past, but and the saying no, uh, learn how to say no, and learn how to say no to family. So that's why I'm going to discuss all this, because I do come from a large family, but it's a lot of hurt and pain, and it's a little something I just want. I have to work out certain issues, and so I want to share it. And again, it's a I'm not proud about how I feel about certain things, and I think that's part of the programming that I had gotten growing up. That you're supposed to try to make people happy. Um, you're not supposed to say no. Well, I said no about a situation, and that's what I want to talk about. It's all interrelated. My search for another place because I don't feel safe here in New York City. It's a love hate. I love New York City. I love Manhattan, but it's greatly changing, and I don't really feel safe here anymore. I don't really feel connected here, and part of me wants to leave, and part of me is feeling hurt and vulnerable. And so what do people want to do when they feel hurt and vulnerable? Well, sometimes they want to run away, right? Part of me wants to run away from a situation. What hurts you? What hurts you? Family. Family could hurt you. You love them, but you hate them too sometimes. I love my family. I love all of them, even the ones that hurt me. Uh, but sometimes you just gotta learn to say no and move forward. Yeah, and introspection. So yeah, any of because I'm probably going to go along with this video. That's why I'm putting a lot of content out right now. What things I want to talk. Get to the say what's really the issue, because this is going to be a long video of mine. It's going to be a long one. Yes, hello viewer. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I invite you to say hello in the chat room. So where am I going with this now? Yeah, this is just showing out my window here. I'm better able to think when the camera's not on me, so I don't focus on what I look like. and just have you just look outside. Well, anyway, yeah. Any of you have ideas about Portugal? Not Portugal. I meant to say Madeira, the island of Madeira. Any black people? Anyone know any black people who moved to Madeira? What parts of Madeira um, is nice to live, safe? I mean, uh, it's supposed to be a safe island. So it's a low crime, low population. Yeah, I'm contemplating moving there. I did, folks, ideally, I would love to move this October. That would be 9 months from now. I would love to move. I love October in particular. It's my favorite month of the year. It's a favorite month because it represents fall, and I love the turning color of the leaves, and I love looking at the pumpkins and all that. And Halloween, the not the commercialized Halloween, but I love the idea of the ingathering of fruits. It's like the harvest time, and it's to bring in the blessings of the hard work that you put into something. Folks, when you do work, you have an expectancy of getting something back for the rewards, or I should say, the awards of your labor. Don't forget that. When you labor at something, you have an expectancy to get a harvest in life. And so with Halloween or that month, it's about bringing in the ingatherings, the fruits of your labor. And I think that aspect is something worthy to savor. I just love October. Yeah, a lot of things happened to me in that month, surprisingly. Yes, yes, we got another speaker there. Yeah, I don't know why you come here. I don't know who you are. These speakers, oh, these people in the chat room who have this weird content, these weird codes. Be nice, people. Be nice. Be brave. Be a man and woman. And if you have something to say, write in a way that we know what you're talking about, none of these codes, you know? Yeah, I'm only addressing the person who just put something down in the comment thing, this funny letters and stuff. I think it's a troll, you know? If you're a troll, you know, find someone else to troll. I don't know what those codes meant. Oh, if you want to share, see, this is also about education, this channel. If you want to educate, you say, hey, hi, Spirit Journey, this code means such and such. But if you're just being a troll, bother somebody else. Well, anyway, yeah, anybody have any black friends who, women friends or men friends who've traveled to the island of Madeira? It's a part of Portugal. It's off the coast. Sorry about that. Yes, he starts to glitch. Sorry about that glitching. Yes, I want to say that up from before I forget, because I could be very long-winded. Okay, this says Sister 19OL online. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, someone is, they wrote another comment. Yeah, be brave. I don't mind people disagreeing with me or not liking me, whatever. Just be a man and a woman to tell me what it is. Stop writing this code. I can't respect cowards. This live stream is really about being upfront with people, being upfront with myself, sharing my feelings. If we don't share our feelings, who are we as human beings when we don't share honestly how we feel to one another in love? you know so yeah, I'm interested possibly in relocating to Madeira. It's where my great grandfather was allegedly from. He was a Portuguese, and he always talked about, it is said that the sun sets the prettiest in Madeira. and I saw what the island looked like. They love plants there in Portugal and Madeira. They are into flowers and plants. And I have a plant name. My name's Azalea. Yes, and so I have an affinity to nature. I love nature. I love physical beauty, with nature. And uh, my life now, I want it focused on nature and spirituality. And part of me feels weird to say that I'm interested in spirituality, but yet I'm writing in my title of this live stream, learning how to say no. So I feel a little awkward and maybe might sound a little contradictory. How, if you're spiritual, shouldn't you be sounding so loving and, you know, um, love everybody and always say yes? Well, that's not spiritual either. To deny your feelings about something, how you really feel when something is disagreeing with you. See, a lot of women are taught to accommodate others, that their feelings are better than yours, and that you're supposed to do all the work. You're supposed to um, be the nurturer, and I'm all for nurturing. But I've met many women who were nurturers, who were wives and mommies, and they walked out feeling empty and in despair and burnt out because they didn't set boundaries. And that is a challenge for me, to set boundaries, to learn to say no. But we taught as women that we're supposed to accommodate everybody and say yes, 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 and that your feelings don't matter. And I'm saying, I had enough of that. Enough of that. And so, when I woke up this morning, I was thinking about certain things that I encountered in life as it pertains to, things Brazilian. And, Brazilian has close ties with Portugal. It was a Portuguese colony. So it was something that was said to me. And I started thinking. And and that's also, everything seems to be linking with each other. This comment that someone said to me regarding Brazilian people, regarding specifically Brazilian women and myself. I was being compared. Yeah, all my life I felt I was being compared with other women, other people, from people that were supposed to be close to me. And I think that, this is a learned behavior. It's very sexist. And it's a learned behavior that is taught to certain members of society. And it was something that hit me so hard. But it was just really, I think, later on in life, I didn't realize how it affected me. And I think it colored a lot of things, opinions about things Brazilian, through that lens of insult that I had and my experience of people that I would later meet from Brazil. So I want to talk about that and how it exposed me about this saying no. Yeah, I had to say no to someone, a family member. And part of the no is uh, due to this person. Um, oh, brother. Yeah, it was based on the hurt that I have. And they're intertwined with this person that insulted me regarding things Brazilian. Wow, and this is supposed to be a loved one. Yeah, so sometimes all the hurt comes forward, and then I said no. Yeah, I said no to this person, this family member. I do care about them, but then I said no, and it was hard for me. So I want to just talk about where this hurt originated from. And it's healthy to say no. If something is really, really a pressing situation and an emergency, but I gathered it wasn't. It was just more of a convenience. And part of my saying no is that I'm tired of people exploiting my good nature and using me and not giving me the respect and giving me notice. And that's what turned me off. And I think the anger and resentment, and and I have a right to say no. Something that is just sprung on me at the last minute. And I felt this when people do that, I feel I took it as lack of respect, you know? And I was tired of that. See, when people really have um, your feelings in mind, they're not just going to do something like spring something on you like that, impose. They're going to think twice. If so, of course, if something is an emergency, some things you there's no warning, it happens. That's something else. That is something else. I'm not talking about that. And yes, I know I could have said yes, but I decided to say no, and learn that when you say no, that you're not going to be popular. I'm not going to be popular, but folks, I've never been popular with these people, never. And so, what did I lose? See, we're so brainwashed to always please other people, and it's hard for us to say no. So, whether you say no, yes, have you ever been in a yes mode and just, okay, yes, okay, okay, and just be agreeable and please others, but they don't respect you, and you leaving feeling empty. So let me share with you my feelings, and it's all seems to be intertwining with things Brazilian and Portugal and Madeira. It's all kind of rolled up in one. Yeah. So I've been looking into Portugal and Madeira, the island of Madeira, which is a part of Portugal. So let me begin my little story. Yeah. Um, Things happened to me growing up. And some people may say, well, when are you going to grow up and, get over it? People who say things like that, you know, they, only thing I can say about them is that until life hits you, you know. And see, if you really love someone, see, when an issue isn't really addressed, see, covering something up does not address the issue. It's like a baby crying. You have to find out why that baby is crying. Sometimes what's expedient, you give the baby a pacifier. But if, let's say, the baby's toe got caught into something, something's poking the baby's going to continue crying until you remove the irritant. Once that thing is addressed, then later on you can give the baby the pacifier. But you have to acknowledge, okay, the baby's hurting, this is why it's hurting, remove it, address the issue, address the wound, whatever, and move on. Well, sometimes the wound is there, it never was healed, and it was never really focused on. And that's what I'm experiencing now. So it was many years ago. I was talking to a family member, and we were talking about Brazil. And I had watched, no, I'm sorry, I had read this book about Brazil. It was called Neither Black Nor White. And it was a book um, to compare the 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 history of slavery that occurred in the United States and Brazil. Those of you who don't know, Brazil, most of the people in Brazil are of black heritage, and you have a lot of mixed race people there. And so the book kind of talks about that the mixtures of the race of the people, and how they, the things that happen in slavery, like certain rights that slaves had taken, even as a slave. Um, so that's what it talked about. But I felt that how I internalized the book, that it was an alternative place for Black people, that you can be a Black person in Brazil and be loved by your former oppressors. That, in essence, what is what how it was internalized. And it talked about Brazil in a very glamorized way, that to be Black in Brazil is something beautiful. Well, is it? So many things are happening in Brazil. Um, it's a lot of poverty, and the poverty is with people who are descendants of these enslaved. Extreme poverty. They call the places where they live favelas. And the sewage of of their waste just pours out from their units onto the ground outside. It's very toxic. I recently, the past week or so, I was watching videos on YouTube about the favelas, about a candid look on the life of living in these favela. A favela is another word. I think an American equivalent would be ghetto. And but one thing I see is that they have identity. They have identity, and that I admire them. They have a personal identity, or I should say a national identity. And for that I commend the Brazilian, light or dark. Brazilians love other Brazilians, and I commend them. So when they're overseas, they seek out their fellow Brazilians. And in Brazil, they seek one another. So it's really harsh that, in comparison to the U.S., we don't really seek each other. Black America doesn't really seek each other. It's a lot of black on black crime. It's really tense. People aren't living in communities and serving each other. So that's what's really lacking here. And part of me wants to leave because of that. There's no community here. I used to live overseas, and then I came back to New York. It's been now going on over 20 years. And it's just not happening here. The sense of community is lacking. And I mean, New York City has a lot of Black people, but it's hectic. Uh, it's really hectic. And for that, I really I want to leave. I feel like I gave it a chance. I mean, outside of this apartment, I love my apartment. Uh, it's affordable. Everything is, outside, it's okay. But it's how I feel inside. So either way, this Brazil. Um, I admire that the Brazilians, they maintain their African traditions through music, religion, and dance. I'm really impressed with that. And so my allure with Brazil, or things Brazilian, really is based on the romanticism that I read in that book. It was also the romanticism from a movie I saw. It's one of my first three movies that I saw, maybe I should say first five movies that I ever watched uh, once I graduated from high school. It was the movie Gabriella. And I recently saw it again, maybe a month and a half ago. Wow, it's a big difference. So here I was just a teenager when I saw the movie Gabriella. It featured the actress Sonia Braga. She's a light-skinned mixed race woman, black and white mix, and she had this long, long flowing hair. And so I kind of like, oh, wow, fantasy, thought it was a very fantasy, fantasyful. But at the same time, things, I think, see, when you see things as a youngster, a young adult, and really don't know who you are. And then when you get older, you realize what the movie really showed. What was that movie really about? The movie Gabriella. About a light-skinned black woman who is just being sexual. She's a sex object for an Italian man. And it didn't really interact. She didn't interact really with people of the black community. Only once in the movie there was a brief, I think it was a runaway or something like that. It was something that he was escaping something. Something happened. But outside of that, it's just her being an object. And initially, I thought, again, I was like socially I was just, maybe it's part of being a preemie. I was a preemie growing up. And so, I don't know. It was, I wasn't aware about who I really was and that, boundaries. And so I think subconsciously it, 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 it was registering to some degree, but I really didn't have a word for or really know what's not known. See, if you grew up being abused, you don't realize that what you see is abuse after a while. So in the movie Gabriella, she really was a woman being abused. She was just a plaything. She didn't have the opportunity. She didn't, in that culture, a woman doesn't really have that much liberties to go about and doing things, or going to school, getting a job. You're there as a woman, you're there for a man. And so now as an adult, many years later, the movie came out almost 40 years ago, okay? Or approaching 40 years. That's a long time ago. And I recently saw the film, and I said, oh my goodness, I have a different feel about it. But back then, in the early 1980s, this was my first Brazilian, in quotes, Brazilian film. And I noticed a lot of Brazilian films focus on that same thing, sexuality, and sexuality with what we would call in America a light-skinned black woman. And you start to think that your self-worth is based on if you're a black person or mixed race black person or light-skinned black person, that your value was based on if white men liked you, about favoring, having favor from white people in general. I no longer feel that way, thank God. But this was something as a young person, just starting out in the world, and it's part of the program. See, we're all being socially programmed. I know I was. And we're still being programmed. But again, so as a background, watching that movie. And it shaped the way I thought about it reconditioned thinking negative about myself and not protecting my boundaries. But it was to like romanticize that this type of lifestyle was something to be desired by women, and in particular, women who are living in a world where they're not liked or loved or in poverty because of the history of slavery. in the Americas. So one day, during all this time, um, oh, I was still a teenager. That's right, I was still a teenager. Um, a family member had said to me, I said something. You know, you ever say something and you just kind of like being a parent and just saying what's like what people like I said, oh wow, I would love to go to Brazil. I said something like that. Oh, I see the Brazil. That's like people say, oh, why not go to Hawaii? That type of thing. Like you never been there. But oh, this is supposed to be the place to go. So that's what I was saying. I had read the book about Brazil. Comparing slavery between the Brazil and the U.S. But it made it seem like it's a fun place to be. Oh, for a black person to go there and be loved, right? So I just said, oh, I would love to go to Brazil. That's all I said. Something like that. And this person said to me, oh, why would you want to go to a place like Brazil? The women there are so pretty. You wouldn't want to go there. I said, well, why would you? Isn't that a sexist thing to say? Yes, this was very sexist. What a woman looks like in Brazil? I'm not going, I'm going there for me. Why would you say something like that? What are you implying? I'll tell you what it's implied. That I'm not beautiful and that I'm not to value myself because someone might be perceived as being prettier than me. And this person used to always compare me with other women. Oh, let's see who's taller. Oh, that was a big thing. Everything was about beauty. That your value is based on who's prettier, you or somebody else. Has that ever happened to you people? Has anyone ever compared you with somebody else? It made you angry? Let's say it doesn't necessarily have to be one's looks. Let's say someone's education. Okay. Or let's say someone, their job. Oh, well, someone makes more money than so and so. But you're always comparing. And they're always comparing you as being less. How would that make you feel, people? Angry, right? A lot of anger. I feel like I was like, still kind of like, I didn't quite understand what one had to do with the other. And whether someone looked pretty, another female looking pretty, what does that have to do with me? Beauty respects beauty. I'm not afraid of beauty or beauty in other people. I'm a person that loves and honors beauty. Whether a beautiful person, beautiful land, I wasn't into that. But this person was. And this person was projecting their concept of how you to judge women. It's very sexist and it's demeaning. To do that to people, to compare, especially men comparing women to women, you notice that? Sometimes over YouTube you hear men comparing different women, insulting them. And they don't look at themselves. So I said, well, not everybody is pretty. I was naive, and I just said, well, not everybody is pretty. He says, oh, yes, all women in Brazil are pretty because I was watching a film, and all the women that they showed on the beach were pretty. I said, well, anyone could point a camera at somebody that they like. It's just a video. But I remember how it made me feel. And then later on in life, I would meet someone from Brazil. And one thing I can say, Brazilian people love their own. And I commend them for loving their own. But see, people who love are able to love others and respect other cultures, whatever, you know? So it's like a wake up call that I think like when you see things for what it really is, do you like I knew how society wanted me to see Brazil. It's a great marketing thing. And I remember also in the early 90s, I think it was 1990, there were things called the Lambada. And that was about, like, it was a movie. And it featured an indigenous woman or indigenous mixed woman and a Caucasian guy. And she was teaching him, it was a very sensual dancing. I think she was teaching him the dance. It's a very sensual dance. And it's also about the rainforest and save the rainforest. Yeah, women could get sexualized. It was on the surface, it seemed like a movie that I was supposed to enjoy. But in the back of my mind, I said to myself, you know, why, why is, why do you feel like you're being like an object? It's like the woman there was just to be an object. And this thing, some cultures, I met a woman from, she was actually from Puerto Rico. And the same sexualization. The women there are, it's like your job is to cook, clean, and just like an object. And some of the material they have, I remember she had this almost like, what do you call it, a comic book style um, book, but it's very sexualized. And it was like demeaning to women. It was very sexist, in my opinion. And she's just reading this. I'm saying to myself, I didn't say anything, but I think, why would a woman want to read something like that is so demeaning to women? Again, this was, I was an adult. This was, I was like in my 40s, early 40s. By this time I met this woman. And it's like, wow, women all over the world are exposed to literature, comic book type, adult comic books, movies, documentaries, and it's demeaning to women. Family members who could extend their biasness against their own family members because of sexism. It is sexism. Just like you have racism, sexism is just as dangerous. It puts you in an inferior position. It is to harm you. Just like people right now, people writing comments. Even right now, I don't see anyone in the chat room, viewing, but yet someone came on the chat room that is trolling me. See, I'm saying things that are very important, and they're trolling me. Okay, so I don't know whether when I finish uploading this, when I'm finished with this video, whether these comments will come out. So this is at the 44 marker. It's almost 45 right now, marker. So anyways, yeah, women all over the world, in the Americas, okay, the Americas had slavery. And the women there in the Americas were used as sexual objects. Cook, clean, and servicing, And I say, I don't want to live that type of lifestyle. Programming. Women are programmed. And women are programmed to be compliant, to say yes all the time. And so this thing Brazilian is like a love-hate. That I was taught that, wow, I'm supposed to love this thing Brazilian because it's a tropic, it's very tropical in some parts. And so the romanticism was something tropical. That's the social conditioning, that I'm supposed to like anything tropical. But I look at it, and even when you look at modern day Brazil, the people who write reviews about being an expat in Brazil, the men who go there, it's more like a sex tourism. And this one guy, a grown man, a middle-aged guy, talking about how he got two women to go to bed with at the same time, and how he's tired of American black women because he can't do that. And this same man was saying that he used to be married in the States to a black Jamaican woman, and that he mistreated her, and so she left. But he's going on his channel poo-pooing American blacks, women in general, but then confess, oh, well, I did mistreat my wife. So now he wants to go to Brazil like a little child who just discovered candy. Disgusting. I thought it was disgusting. I thought it was disgusting. Yeah, I think he passed away too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think he passed away, that fellow. But these videos are really becoming popular over YouTube. Black men going to Brazil, but it was never about setting community. It's all about being a middle-aged man getting off on some Brazilian woman. And I don't like that. I mean, your sexual preference is your business, people. It is your business. But people see, you wherever where you go in life, you represent people that look like you. And if you're representing yourself being a middle-aged man who can't communicate with your own woman back at home, but you're going to go to another land and just being reckless with your body. Come on, people. Come on. Is that what you want to represent to the rest of us? We need strong men who are proud to be men, to protect your woman. You don't stop being who you are because who you marry, or even the country you live in. You still represent the group that you come from. Okay? What you like and who you like is your business. And if being in a relationship with someone from another place, if that makes you a man, and my definition of a man is that the man respects himself, he is productive in life, he cares about his community, he cares about his family, and he protects his woman and children. If by having a relationship from outside of your group, if this makes you a better person, go for it. I'm all for personal development. Become that strong adult, that good role model. Because no matter where you go, you bring yourself, and people learn by watching. So make sure when you do something respectful with yourself, because people watch. And don't forget, AIDS is still out there. AIDS is still out there. And in that video with the guy with two women, he says, I hope he had a condom on. I hope he used protection. I should say that. I have to be very careful what I say. I hope you use protection. AIDS is still out there, people. Don't forget that. AIDS is still out there. So yes, whatever what you like, that is your personal business. Your lifestyle is your business. But when you put it on social media, um, be careful. The younger people watch and they hear. You have to talk about protection. So yeah, so it's like a love hate that I have with things Brazilian. I want to love things Brazilian because we're all taught we're supposed to like Brazil because of everything, right? I would love to love Brazil. But I think when that individual, that family member, compared me with another woman, we have feelings. Women have feelings. And when you tell a woman that you can't go to a place because they're supposed to be prettier than I am, wow, what they really feel about me. And this is supposed to be a family member. Is that being family, people, or is that just being mean? That's being mean. And this person has young daughters. What is he teaching his daughters? What is he teaching them? Is he teaching them to respect their body? To don't allow men to compare you and to objectify you? I could just imagine what he's teaching them. I really hope they're well. I'm not going to say any more about them, but I really wish his daughter's safety these days, and that they learn how to love themselves and respect their bodies and have people respect them. Yeah. So, so really, it really hurt me with this person when I realized what this person was really getting at. See, beauty respects beauty. And I'm not afraid of looking at beauty. Love beauty. See, people like him, see, they don't respect. So it's like you have people out there who really have no respect for life. It's like the more evil people can become, the more that it seems like life gives them. Don't you notice that, people? Have you ever met someone who um, was really given everything in life, but they're horrible people? They're horrible to other people. And it seems like life rewards them. See, people look at people like that individual, I'm not going to give the name, and they think, people, that this person is something else. And what they don't know, see, people have secrets. And unfortunately, you have women, because how society is set up, at least here in the Americas, that getting any man is better than nothing. Because the stigma of not being married with children is considered in many cultures around the world as a curse. And I'm saying, it's not a curse. See, they want you to believe, thank you, YouTube, for giving me a thumbs up. See, they want you to believe that your value is based on you fulfilling somebody else's need. I'm saying enough is enough. That your value is based on your soul, your human soul. You're a human being. And your value is not based on you fulfilling the need for a selfish man. Yeah, this person done horrible things and is rewarded things. It's just amazing. It's amazing. Oh, I was going to say with women. So they're in a relationship, and they know that this person has I got to be polite, right? People, they are men that are into weird things. And I guess, yes, and women that are into weird things too. But see, some things what people are into are dangerous. Okay? That's all I'm saying. And you have some women that cover up for these guys. They cover up. They're the type of women that when their kid is being abused, they're the ones that turn their head. They pretend they don't see or hear anything. And then outside in life, they wear nice, expensive clothing. They go on vacations, and everybody wants to be them. But there, they have a secret. They have a secret. Yeah? You can run, but you can't hide forever. That's all I could say. That's all that I'll say about that. Yep, I know what you're about. And you can run, but you can't hide. And when those kids really get older, they get, be very careful because that person could tell on you. Yep. They can learn how to be just as horrible as you are. And if they learn to be selfish like you guys, they may blackmail you. Okay? So I hope you try to make this person, make amends with this person or people. Make amends because one day they could go to the system and have you arrested. Just saying, people. Just saying. So that was the baggage that I came out from this person who I had cherished. Though it was a friend, this family member. And when I woke up this morning, it was like an awareness, an awakeness about what that comment that person meant. What they were saying. They were saying they didn't value me. They didn't value me. Well, it's time to value yourself, people. Because you have people who like to go around in life insulting people, harming people. And they just seem to enjoy, they have this Adonis problem. They may think that God's gift to the world. It's part of their sickness. I think people who think that way are really hating themselves, but they're living an illusion to help them cope with them not feeling valued about themselves. And so they transfer the guilt that they have about themselves and they project it upon you to live their pain. Well, people, as I said in this video, that learn how to say no, even if it hurts. See, people who are rejected in life, mistreated in life, they always want to please people, but then there's a time where you say enough is enough. It's a time to say no, even if it hurts. Even if it means that you won't get their friendship. Even if it means maybe losing something. And to be able to say no and say to yourself that you don't care what the consequences are, that you won't be manipulated anymore. Yes, life and introspection. Many women and men as well, we go through life wanting to be people pleasers, and you sit in your role that was carved for you to be in, to you better not make waves because they won't like you or approve of you. Well, you know something? These people who are seeking, for me to want their approval, but these are people who aren't approvable. If you look in the lives of these people, they're not people of honor. They're not people of respect. These are nasty human beings. And they've manipulated so much that your world could sometimes, or maybe at one point in your life, revolved around their approval. And this could be a bondage for many. Am I speaking the truth, people? Am I speaking the truth? Yes or no? Tell me, am I speaking the truth? Or I'm just making up a story? Or this is just fantasy? Yes or no? You just look within your life. Are you a people pleaser? Or are you someone who learned to say no? Well, I saw the hurt that I was, when I woke up this morning. I felt the hurt. I felt the pain of being judged as a woman. You know, the biggest way to hurt a woman is to insult their womanhood. But I I um I look in the mirror now. See, at that time when that person said that thing to me, I didn't look in the mirror. But I look in the mirror now, and I'm okay. If you could only see what that other person looked like, man, it's almost funny. And the wow, and oh, I'm not even going to go there. That'd be just rude. See, I don't want to be mean spirited. I don't want to be mean spirited in this live stream. I want to keep that aspect clean, but I just want to tell the story without being mean spirited. I mean, I don't want to say anything mean spirited. Um, but yeah, it's really something, people. When you look at these individuals, they say, "Wow, I had valued what this person thought of me." If you only saw what this person looked like, boy, wow. That's all I will say about that. But it had me, I respect myself now. I'm able to look in the mirror and say, I love you. Girl in the mirror, I love you. I tell myself that. Yeah, back then I didn't look in the mirror because I didn't like myself. But now I say, there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with anybody. Everyone should love themselves. Look in that mirror and say, I love you. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. But none of us are perfect. And this is a journey that we all, as individuals, have to go through to accept yourself. Because, see, the program, we all are programs. And I realized when I woke up this morning, think about the story about that person and about I had to recently say no to someone. Um, it was hard. Like, part of me felt a little guilty because that program is still trying to break the program. So the breaking programs and bondages takes time. It's not something cut and dry. So maybe some things you're separate from, but maybe other aspects that program might still kind of be there a little bit. So yeah, I had to say no recently, and part of me felt a little guilty, but I said to myself, I have to say no. So you have people who do things behind your back, who say things behind your back, and you wonder why things are happening to you, and then you become privy to information that these people were instigating behind your back to manipulate a situation, to make other people don't like you or hate you. And that's what happened to me. And when I learned of that this person was behind a particular matter, I got angry. I did confront them. Yeah, confront. It's okay to confront people who do things. When you find out something, with respect, you approach them, whether it be in person or by phone, whatever what is convenient for you. Address the issue. And when I addressed the issue, the person avoided, and then when they couldn't avoid it because I was pressing the issue, they started name calling me. Implying certain things to hurt my feelings. See, that is you'll find people who try to hurt other people, especially if it's family members, and when you confront them, they may fall into patterns of people who used to abuse you, and that's what he did. So I said I had enough. I had enough. See, when you go out your way and be a sneak and try to hurt people, and then you're not man or woman enough to say, yes, I did do such and such, I'm sorry, or whatever. And this person had the nerve to come and ask me a favor. And I just couldn't, I was just stunned. You're going to say that to me? And then just shortly after, you're going to ask me to do you a favor? I have to watch my language. I was just about to curse there. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, I noticed also that I use the F word. I catch myself using the F word a lot. And I never used to do that. But in this tapping onto my things that hurt me, I find that I start to use the F word in anger. And it's just, I think, a phase, whatever, that I'm, because I always have to talk proper and this and that. And now it's like saying, something, I'm tired of always sounding polite. Sometimes it's very healthy, and it's like breaking the program. It's breaking the program. They wanted me to be perfect. They wanted me to be pleasing for other people. And sometimes the things that they want you to be conflict. Dress pretty. Oh, you can't wear makeup. It's always something. So I say, I want to enjoy me. I'm tired of trying to always please others. There is wisdom in everything too. There's wisdom in how you dress in public. Because see, we are social beings, and it's true, when you go out, certain things, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear certain things. And so sometimes socially, you may have to modify certain things. If you don't want to hear the flack, something, something it's something you may not be aware, and something to actually said for your benefit. But something's just being a real, pain. But love yourself. We're all a work in progress. And I think with the past hurts, whatever, and this recent event with someone who betrayed my trust, came to me and by phone and wanted me to how do you say, to do them a favor. Now, I said no because I didn't like that it was a last minute thing. And I'm tired to always have to bail out people. That was another reason. I could have said yes, but see, in the past, 20 years ago, I would have said yes. I used to have a boss, and I always said yes. Oh, could you do? I used to work in the cooking field, and this was a very sexist man, um, a wannabe. Let me stop. He'll profess his religion. I'm not going to say the religion. I don't. I'm not saying because I don't. I'm not going to say because I don't want to insult anybody. Anybody can have any religion, and religion doesn't make anyone good or bad. It's what you do, your conduct. And this person was a member of this particular group, and is very sexist. He's very demeaning, and I thought, I was new on the island, and I just wanted to be agreeable because I just wanted to get through. That was me. And I'll just say yes to everything with him. I'll do his shift. He was my boss, but he had shift also, and he needed help. He had to go somewhere, so I just took it. I didn't have a family or anything like that. He had a wife. I think did he have a kid? Yes, he had a kid. So I just say, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll take your shift. I'll do your shift. And this one time, I said no, and that ultimately got me fired. See, there's a price to say no, people, women out there. There is a price. And I said no to that individual because I had enough of his sexism, his insults, and I was curious because I always said yes before. And so I said to myself, if it's okay for me to say yes all the time, I also have the right to say no. Angry, blah, 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 blah. And ultimately, I think he used that as an excuse to let me go. It was the new year coming, in the cooking field, you have their busy seasons, and when it gets slower, you need less people. And so he let me go out of the two, it was two people, me and another girl. The other girl was very nice human being. He technically was supposed to let her go because I started working there first, but that didn't happen. So people, why I share this story is that, see, we can always be agreeable. We could be, let's say it's 100 times, and you're agreeable 99% of the time. And then that one day you said no. See, that's when I learned, people, that's when I learned that you can say yes 99 times, and then the one time you say no, and their real feelings about you comes out in hatred. See, people could look at you, whether it be because of your gender, whether because you're female, whether you because you're a black person or whatever, what the issue is. People are either going to love you or hate you. See, I can respect someone who's upfront. They don't like you, and you know it, and they know it. But people who behind you, in front of your face, tell you one thing, but behind your back, they do something else. And that maybe you're in insecurity, you try to please them. And then when it's revealed, see, sometimes life presents itself. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Sometimes life really wants you to develop you to a point where you don't care the consequences of saying no to people. People, see, this journey, this spiritual journey I'm on, is very revealing to myself, and about others. Do you want to say no? Do you want to say no, or are you saying yes because you want their favor, or what you think is favor? You're better off being around people that know that they hate you. See, a skunk is a skunk. A skunk who acts like a skunk, knows it's a skunk, I could respect. You just keep away, right? But people who want to pretend to be a bottle of perfume, but you keep smelling something awful, you know, in your spirit, you don't feel right. You don't feel right saying yes because you know they don't really respect you. Well, this is an era, and in time 2022 is a time to say no. Just say no, right? Yes, there's consequences. And part of me feels a little bad that I said no. I said it respectful. I'm not saying being rude to other people. But it's okay to say no. If something was a real emergency, that's something else. But I'm tired, I feel, being like a savior to save people. No. Hey, because in the end, they really don't respect you, and that they will still try to sabotage you, this person. That's how I feel. So this is part of a process of me to accept the repercussions of saying no. That yes, they might mistreat you, they might still gossip behind your back, but to know the power of saying no. And I think my writing the title, the ability of saying no, even if it hurts. Look at with this the past 2 years with this health crisis that's happening now in New York City. They're arresting people who want to attend a restaurant, but they didn't get the vaccine. And if you don't leave immediately, they're going to call the cops on you. They arrested this lady who's in a wheelchair. She has a, what do you call it, multiple sclerosis, something like that. Something like that. A motor problem, and so you can't walk. So she's in a wheelchair, and she is a protester. She did what she did to get arrested. Actually, I'm going to put that out there. She was with other people to go to restaurants and see if they could defy the system. Oh, because the system here in New York City, they're saying in New York City, if you don't have that particular, I'm going to call it bug juice. If you didn't drink the bug juice or the Kool-Aid, and if you demand to eat in the restaurant, they're going to say you're trespassing and have you arrested. So, so the people that she was with got arrested, and she was trying to get arrested. She said that, um, but she was brought outside. The interview on her on YouTube. She was outside, and the cop was there. They were to arrest her. Eventually, they didn't want to arrest her because she's in a wheelchair. But yeah, she was to get arrested, and she said that she did that to try to get arrested. Okay, and now she's trying to get donations, and she said the donations not for her, but the people who got arrested, you know, to speak out. So see, we're afraid to say no. See, the people at the restaurant. See, this is all. See, everything's connected to everything else, people. Because in New York City right now in 2022, uh, New York restaurants, a mandate is not a law, people. A mandate is not a law. Remember that. Mandate does not mean law. But see, why they were able to arrest the lady and people who did what she did was because of trespassing, allegedly trespassing in the restaurant. They entered the restaurant, and then when they were asked if they had the card, that particular card that they had the bug juice, uh, they can't be served. So People are forcing you to do something with your body. Your body is your right. And they want you to say yes to their mandates. A mandate is not a law. Just remember that. So they couldn't arrest them because of the bug juice. The grounds of the arrest because they didn't want to leave after they were told to leave because they wouldn't violate their own body. So your body is your rights. And you know, your emotions are your right too. Your feelings. Sorry. The power thing. Interesting. The battery. Sorry. The battery is saying that it's low, but I have it plugged in. It's not charging. Sorry about that. Yes, I have to make it quick. It's just said that it's 50% battery life on it, even though I have it plugged in, but it wasn't charging. Let me try something else. I'll put in the other code. Just a moment. Ah, so hopefully this other cord charges the this device. Okay. Yeah, this is very telling what I'm saying right now. This is very, see, everything, life is connects itself. Everything's related. You know, whether the thing that of Brazil and then to be rejected or insulted and then to say no to people who then want to use you, everything's related. It's about your personal space. It's about establishing boundaries. Many of us haven't established boundaries. And so now, this whole system now is violating all of our boundaries now on the guise of health. If they really were concerned about health, they would ensure that all food is organic, no GMO, no no artificial food colorings that cause cancer, uh, no smog in the air, right? All these things, no more wars. It would be about beauty and health, you know. I mean, beauty, I mean about nature, to respect nature. It doesn't respect nature. But they want you to become an artificial person because, see, they have their agenda. And again, these people are not good people. They have money. They wear all these fancy suits and dresses. They go to those meetings, like the political, what do you call it? These Illuminati, you know, organizations. You know what they are. If you watch this channel, you probably heard of them. What are like the Bilderberg, the Club of something. Yeah, there are a lot of organizations who go out and try to control the world planet. The banksters, and they're all in cahoots. They do the social engineering on the planet. And right now, they are imposing on you. They want you to think all these things about other people. And now they want you to just comply with their system of control. They don't want you to have boundaries anymore. Hey, cheeseburger. What's that? Yeah, the H. It's good to see you. Yeah, I'm well. Yeah, I get a lot of these what you call bots throughout this live stream. Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna finish soon. But yeah, it's good to see you, cheeseburger. Yeah, I haven't heard from you in a while. Yeah, I. So anyway, yeah. So now you have a system, and again about boundaries. It's like they can tell you anything about yourself. They're now telling people if you don't drink the bug juice, then you're a bad person. It's that name calling. They'll say, "Oh, you have to say we're going to segregate you. You cannot play with us because you didn't drink the Kool-Aid." And yet the person that drank the Kool-Aid, according to documents from the CDC, they're showing that they are the ones that are becoming hospitalized. Not people. Now anyone could get sick. Anyone could get sick. But who's really getting sick at higher numbers? It's the people who drink the bug juice, as I call it. Well, I'm not going to drink any bug juice or the Kool-Aid. I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to violate my body. I'm going to learn to say no. Learn to say no. And it is a price to say no. It is a price to say no. Like that lady in the wheelchair. She wants food. See, what's happening also with the restaurants in New York City is that um, the owners are told, if you don't comply with our rules, we're going to fine you $1,000. And I think it's $1,000 for every person. That's what's happening in New York City. They are being bullied, the restaurateurs. If they don't comply, the owners, they get a fine. And so they're scared. But see, you have to say no. New York City, we're supposed to be a strong place. I was told no to be served. It was a bagel place. I went to get this bagel. I haven't used them in a while. And then I went to get a bagel. Oh, I can't serve you unless you put your mask on, or I'll get a fine. Wow. I said, people, New Yorkers. I thought New Yorkers were supposed to be a strong people. They're bullying us. A mandate is not a law. How could they legally tell you what I am to do with my body? How dare they do that, the system? How dare the system here in New York City and around the planet that say, if you don't do this, we can't serve you food. Oh, you can't play with us. You can't go on the plane. This is bullying. This is bullying. And one in favor from the devil. These are devil people. Devilish. They want to bully you into submission. And it doesn't stop people. See, this is the thing. Like those people that I told you in my life that I just wanted to always say yes, yes, yes. And then you kind of feel guilty when I said no. Like, see, the program is, your program, and especially women, are programmed to always say yes, especially to say yes to men. And I said no. And I was respectful. And in growing up, see, you think that you're buying their friendship, and you're not. They don't respect you, and they never will. And just like now with these organizations that are creating, who are hijacking the planet and forcing you to drink bug juice or that Kool-Aid. And so there is a price. They could arrest you. Yes, they can. See, they're not going to stop. See, I thought with that boss that I worked for, that I just kept on saying yes, and I'll keep a job. I'll keep a job if I say yes. And I said, I'm going to say no. Because I don't want always people to think that I'm always going to say it, so I said no. And I had a right to say no. He asked me, and I told him no. And I have a right to say no. If you're going to ask me a question and it's a yes or no answer, I have a right to say yes or no. And I shouldn't be punished if you're going to ask me something. He shouldn't have asked. He should have just told me, look, I'm going to have to change your schedule. That's all he had the power to do that. But don't then ask me to do something. See, if you ask, when someone asks you something, you have a right to answer truthfully. And if the other person doesn't like it, that's not fair to then take it out on you. See, there is a price to say no. Yes, I know. And it hurt me. And this recent no that I said, I know I could have said yes, but I said no. You know, if you're going to ask me something, don't ask me something at the last minute. That I didn't like. And they've done something like this, you know. Some people that know they like to do things at the last minute and impose on you. They could ask you to do something. And then you finally say yes, and then they pull out. I said, wow, I don't need that anymore, people. 2022 is a year to just say no. Just say no. When you want to say no, you have the right to say no. That's all I'm saying. And ironically, in New York City, people are being bullied to say yes, and it's harming their bodies. It's harming their bodies. You've seen it on YouTube. People who are convulsing. You see those jocks, those football stars in Europe, and they're all dying. And in America, those football here, they're dying on the court. They're dying. Did you see that? Yeah, they want you to commit suicide, people. This is what it's about. They want you to participate in your death. I said, no, I don't want this. I can't believe this is happening. And you know, I think what happened, whether you like him or not, when number 45 was in office, and when he spoke, yeah, he said some things he shouldn't have said, yes. But when he challenged China, a particular thing, he said, let's bring back jobs to New York, bring back jobs to America. Who got angry? Was the system that got angry with him. The system got angry with number 45. And that's when it happened. So this was in 2016 when number 45 first announced his wanting to participate in a particular thing. Okay? And when Hillary lost to number 45, they didn't expect it. See, what's happening now, I perceive was going to happen under her watch with the the taking, they want to make America a socialist country / communist. That's what they want to do. They want to take away the rights of the people and make it socialism or communism. And I believe that communist China, again, what I'm saying has nothing to do with the everyday Chinese person. I like people from China. I don't care for communism. Okay? It's about the communist regime, not about the common folk. And they're trying to take over the system there in China, wants to take over America. And so when number 45 said that we're going to bring back the jobs and industry back to America, China wanted all the money for herself. So we're going to fix this person. They didn't expect he was going to win, and then he won. When he did win, they said, we're going to get tougher. So then they released that pathogen 2 years ago. And so this is a warfare. This is a silent war. They're not using bombs. Oops, I'm not supposed to say that word. I'm sorry. They, warfare is different now. It's all electronic. The warfare that's happening now is a bioweapon. They're using bioweaponry upon the people on the planet. Don't you ever wonder why, if you look at the statistics, the numbers, why is it that the third world has less? You go to Asia and Africa. How come they have less sick people with this particular thing than in America, than in Western Europe? China wants to rule the planet and attacking the Western world, which includes the U.S. and Canada, here in the Americas. And they're doing anything. And they're trying to make us all into lose our economy. See, they're destroying it slowly. Jobs were lost. See that you got the bot, the little bots there. Yeah, throughout this video, they're doing that. But yeah, they want to destroy us from inside. So they sent out this pathogen on us. And then they said the lockdown. Remember the lockdown? Oh, we're going to lock you down now. And there was no reason to lock down because there wasn't that many people deceased. And then they said, oh, you have to stay at home if you're sick. Oh, don't come to the hospital if you're sick. Well, aren't you, if you're sick, you go to the hospital. And then there are treatments for this particular thing. And they said, oh, you can't use that. We're not going to give it to you. But yet, there were doctors Without Borders. I mean, it's called Frontline Doctors Without Borders. And when they gave information, and these are medical doctors who treated people very successfully, and then they said, then they pulled their video from all of social media. So you have to go on alternative news to find out about the different treatment plans that they offer. Yeah. And so so now, with the lockdown, people now can't make money, and many of the businesses here in New York City closed down. Many. But yet, even though you have many people shutting down, but you have people from that part of the world, from China, that are moving in New York City. Somehow they're the only ones, it seems like, who can afford the new buildings that are being brought up. Yeah, New York City is doing a lot of construction work here. So even though mom and pop shops are closing down, but they haven't building all these new high rises, and it doesn't make sense. So it's two things happening at once. They're pulling down the old system. They're removing all the old mom and pop shops here in New York City. And when I say this city, I mean Manhattan. And then they're bringing in these people from that particular country, or at least people who look like them. I could be wrong. Not everybody who looks like them are from there. But either way, what it looks like is that they're coming here and they're occupying these new high rises, even though everybody's losing work. How is that? So now that you have it's weakening, so you don't need the BOMB anymore. It's all electronic. So, oh, you got to stay at home. Okay. And now that you're home, you lose your company. You're begging on the street. There's a lot of people doing drugs now in the street openly. Carjacking, I heard about. They're doing carjacking to this official. This official had a BMW. They went to some gas station, and then their car gets hijacked. And then they also went in the gas station where he was, and then robbed the gas station or something. Yeah, this was just recent, I heard. And he was an official's, I think an official's son, or no, he was an official of some type. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, just happened, and they're doing it boldly because they can get away with it. The police here, half of the like this one precinct that's near where I live, half of all the police officers resigned. 50%. 50% of them resign. So there's less protection here in New York City. Yeah, it's fed up. Yeah, they're fed up. They're stressed out. And then they will remember trying to use the race card now in New York City. Yeah, it's like a tit for tat. You have blacks doing things, and you have whites doing things, and it's awful. I was attacked, and then the cops. I was attacked by a white person, and the cops just basically let her go. They brought her to the hospital, and then she was released, even though she attacked several people. Yeah, see that a tit for tat. I see. I was I am I'm a veteran, and I do respect police officers because I understand, they wear uniform like I used to wear a uniform, and you're instructed to do your job. But see, they're not really doing their job. See, I don't care about your occupation. I care how you perform, and when you do things that you're not supposed to do as a police officer, that's what I have a problem with. That is my concern. We need good police officers, not corrupt ones. And New York is just getting really corrupt. But see, even the cops, they got to learn to say no also. You have fellow New Yorkers or visitors who don't want to take the bug juice, and then you're going to arrest them because of a mandate. A mandate's not a law. It's not a law. And to force a family to drink the Kool-Aid and then you die, there's no accountability, people. There is no accountability. You get sick after drinking Kool-Aid, you don't, you can't sue them. So isn't it murder? Isn't it murder what they're doing? To know what something is going to do to someone down the road is murder. And they want you to participate in destruction to your health. It is destroying society. When number 45 said, no more, and to bring back the jobs, and now there's a penalty to say no. It's a penalty to say no. But we have to do, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And people are afraid. That's why they do it. They're afraid. Oh, if I don't do it, you know what you got to do. And I'm surprised no one's not doing it. I'm surprised that what do you call those people? Those SEALs, Navy SEALs, and things, people like that. I'm surprised they're not. I'm surprised they're not doing what I think they that. I'm not going to say more. I'm surprised of their actions. I'm surprised of their inactions in this matter. Someone now is, it's horrible enough growing up and feeling like you're just there for someone's property as a female. You know how many women do what they do because they're afraid? Oh, if I don't do it, if Johnny says, if I say no to Johnny, he's going to leave me. Well, let him leave. You know how many women out there? Wow. I always told myself, I don't want to be them. I didn't want that. So yes, it's a price to say no. Yeah, you might be alone. Yes. But yeah, I have my dignity. I have my body. That's more important. It's more important, dignity. Even though socially I might be mocked at, oh, she doesn't got anybody. Well, there's a lot of women out there that believe they have somebody, but that so-and-so is messing with 10 other women. Yeah, I used to travel a lot, and I saw a lot of things. A lot of women told me what was going on. Yes, they did. Just because someone so-called has somebody doesn't mean that they're happy either. And some women might get pregnant deliberately to keep a guy, but they're with other. But see, the guy is with other women too. He can have a whole slew of pregnant women at the same time. You don't have him, but he's sucking you dry because you are afraid to say no. People, men, women, children, it's time for us to learn to say no, even if it hurts. And this is a prime time to learn to say no. You're going to have family, friends, strangers, doctors who are going to try to force you to drink Kool-Aid. My own doctor got real huffy with me because of the Kool-Aid. They want you to take the Kool-Aid. If I did everything what doctors told me to do in society, I'd be dead. They wanted me to take Vioxx before Vioxx, it was pulled off the market. They wanted me to take it. And it was pulled out the market because it caused heart failure. Use your instinct, people. I used my instincts. I said, something sounds wrong about that drug. Thank God I had that. See, this spiritual journey I'm on, I'm trusting my instinct. Trust your instinct, people. Learn to trust your instinct on a matter. You might feel awkward. You might say, "Oh, but I should like that person, or I should." Regardless, use your instincts. If something doesn't feel right to you, you may not know why. You might feel guilty because you're supposed to like this person or situation. But if something doesn't sit right with you, you have a right to say no. You have a right to say no. How many people now are dead because they didn't say no? Oh, I want my neighbors to like me. Are they going to pay your medical bills? Are they going to pay your mortgage? What if you have little children? Are they going to pay and take care of your children? No, they're not. And they're becoming so insensitive, some of these people, for the people who don't want to take bug juice or the Kool-Aid, as I call it. And they're going to blame, they're blaming, see, it's reverse psychology. They're blaming people who don't want to drink Kool-Aid as people who are contaminated and dirty. Isn't that bigotry? They're in violation of the Nuremberg Code, people. The Nuremberg Code is a set of laws. It's an international law, international. And it came about after World War II because that organization in the 1930s, 40s that controlled Germany and much of the Europe, and they were doing experiments on people. And the people said, the people behind it said, "Oh, well, I was just following orders." Well, that's not enough. You can't say that anymore. You can't say that anymore, that you're just following orders. Um, it's a violation. And so if you ever feel like, you know, pressure to say yes, remind them of the Nuremberg Code that is in violation to um, non-consensual, what's that? Informed consent. There has to be informed consent. And what you wear has to be informed consent, or what you intake in your body has to be informed consent. What informed consent means is that they disclose to you everything that is behind what they want you to partake in. That you know the pros and the cons, you know the risks. You know the risks of the event. You know that ahead of time. It's in writing. It's an agreement. And when it goes south, so to speak, when it's found to harm people, they're supposed to stop the experiment immediately. This whole procedure, what's being done the past 2 years, is an experiment, and it's non-consensual. It is not informed consent. They do not share the data. They don't want you to share the data. You can look at the data yourself on the CDC's website. Those of you who know how to make, like, let's say you know the software Excel that does the spreadsheet. With Excel, things like software like that, you can take the numbers from the spreadsheet and create what they call a bar chart or a pie chart. It's a visual way to see data, and you can compare how many people who've undergone those process, how many people actually died from it versus how many people died from what they call comortalities. How many people died from X, Y, and Z? Find out yourself, and you're going to see what's really going on. They're not sharing that, and they don't want to share you that. The proof is in the pudding. People's always been sick with various conditions, but people weren't put in isolation, and then all these companies losing work and jobs. That never happened. But this is their whole point. This is a new form of warfare upon the planet, and they're punishing us because we said no during number 45. Number 45 said, no, we're bringing jobs back to America, and that person is being punished, and the nation's being punished. And when he tried to get into office again, they said, we can't afford this. They wanted to do this a long time ago, but now they got dirty, getting really dirty and desperate, and so they released this disease on the planet, and now slowly people are waking up. Slowly, those people who put that person in power is now others are they're slowly waking up and saying, "Wow, we were fooled. They fooled us. They fooled us." We're all fooled. And this is what they want to do. They're taking over. And now they're affecting your children. You have young children who are dying because of bug juice, or afraid for your family because your family won't like you anymore. I say protect your health. I've always been see I know what it's like to be, I've seen up close what certain diseases could do to people growing up as a young child. So I was always aware of health, and especially when I became 18 and over. Uh, I've always wanted to live a healthy lifestyle, and I have supplement. You can do all the right thing, people. Some of us can do all the right things, eat the right food, but sometimes things could happen. So I say that because uh, anybody could get sick, even perfect people. Any of us, we could do all the right things. I think some people um, who decided not to take the bug juice or the Kool-Aid, um, they have means of getting rid of people. And it's no surprise that this lady, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she died on the 6th of this month. Um, I think some people were targeted, or once it got to the hospital, that they made it worse for them, and they passed. They have that YouTuber, that black YouTuber, who was encouraging black people to move to Brazil, or in particular Brazil. And lo and behold, he dies from the Kool Aid. Oh, I'm sorry. He yeah. I mean, I don't think he took the Kool Aid, but he got sick and he died. Yeah, I feel awful. I feel awful. And I said, how could that happen? He's look a healthy person. He's a weightlifter. He's an intelligent man. How could that happen? Some people get targeted, and I think he was getting too popular. I mean, I could be wrong. It could have just been by chance. But how could someone young and healthy as he was, all of a sudden, that happened to, right? They're weaponizing it all. They are weaponizing it. And I think I don't know how they do it. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, cheeseburger. Yeah. Yeah, it's spooky. But I said, yes, this can be spooky. But that's why we're communicating with each other. So I also do this for a sense of community, people. A sense of community. That yes, it's human to be afraid at times, but to know that you're not alone out there. You're not alone. They want us separate from each other. They want us alone. And so they want to put fear in us to force us to drink the Kool-Aid. You remember what happened the last time people took the Kool-Aid in South America. That thing that happened in 1980. It was in 1979 or 1980. Jim Jones. That's right, that's what his name was. Jim Jones told the people, I think it was over 1,000 people that died that moment. 1,000 people. Horrible. Horrible. And the people there were calling for it. Some of them people were asking for help to get out. Yeah, and then they swacked them. People, if you want to drink the Kool-Aid, you do what's comfortable for you. But there are other, what you have to ask questions. Why won't they let you take prophylactics? Why they banned certain things in New York City? In New York City, I cannot get this particular prophylactic. They banned it. Oh, well, they're not having it. My doctor, I asked my doctor, because I think it was just stress. I was getting headaches. This was a couple of months ago. I was getting headaches. And yes, I did get checked. I didn't have it. I got checked 4 times, and they were all negative. Um, but I was starting to get scared, and I called my doctor. I said, Doctor, I want to know if in the future, if something to happen to me, I don't know what to do. They said, well, we don't have any treatment here. And I said, well, I want to get such and such as a preventive. And they said, we don't offer it, and none of the hospitals in New York City offers that. I said, well, what am I supposed to do? They said, well, if you have to get hospitalized, we'll give you such and such. And I said, but doctor, that such and such causes organ failure. He says, I don't know where you're getting your information from. You're getting wrong information. And she says, oh, you should go to, the system, that organization that is deceiving people. They're hiding the data. So that's what's happening here, people. So I know what fear is. When you feel like, oh my God, put in perspective, 99.9% of the people are fine. 99.9% of the people are fine if they're exposed to it. It's just a fraction of people who it actually whacks out. But a lot of the people got whacked out because they weren't treated for what they really had. The data shows that people were dying because of pneumonia. What do you call it? I'm sorry, influenza. People had influenza. And it's a different protocol, influenza versus that other thing. 2 different protocols. And they weren't treated for influenza. It's called, PNI, pneumonia/influenza. They usually go hand in hand. When you have influenza, you get pneumonia. You can get pneumonia. And that's what initially whacked those people. They denied them treatment for influenza and pneumonia. And so they died from it, according to the data that they don't want to share with you. But they disguised it and made it look like that they had that other thing. And sometimes people can have more than one illness. See, life doesn't just stop because of this thing that's out there. Anyone can get sick from any number of things at the same time. And it's up to the doctors to examine more than one thing. You think people don't get other diseases because of this? You can get anything. And stress would do that, people. So I'm not a doctor. I'm just a layman, a laywoman here in New York City. And I want to do things that will be good for my personal wellness. I bought these grapefruit and lemons, organic ones. I'm going to make this tonic. I saw over the internet. It's some therapeutic, like you boil the skin of the grapefruit, and you could add a little bit of the lemon skins also, and you let it boil, the skins of both the grapefruit and the lemon together, and then you pour the mixture. Once it's done, boil a couple of minutes. Then you stir it in a jar, and you sip this. And this is supposed to be therapeutic and the bioflavonoids in it. So I just bought them yesterday. The citrus fruit. I want to go back on the channel, back on the look at the video how to make it. I can't say the name of the what it is, but it starts with the word hydro, and it ends with the word quin. And this is that you can make your own brew, according to this YouTuber. Yeah, I know that citrus fruits, if you don't have allergies with it, could be very therapeutic because the bioflavonoids build up your immune system. So you want to you want to do things that will build up your immunity. One way of getting improving your immunity is exercise, getting fresh air. Try to go out there and get fresh air. Having that thing on your face is like a diaper. And people are getting sick wearing that diaper on their face because they're breathing in their own bacteria and it's getting in their lungs and it's building up and they can get pneumonia, bacterial pneumonia from it. See, and they know that the system, but they don't care. I'm going to look at some of the comments. I haven't seen the comments. Let me just start to read it. Okay, let me go to the beginning. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is from Cheeseburger. Okay. Okay, yeah, I read that. Okay, that one is, I see you have the comment bot. Here's a real comment. Hope you are well. Okay. Don't blame you. They are pulling pages from 30s Germany and 30s Soviet Union. Yep, exactly, Cheeseburger. I was watching a psychology thing and kids were all scribbling masks on images on kids without masks in magazines. Oh wow. The scribbles look like serial killer drawings. Straight out of the Joker. Oh wow. All tyranny rule through fraud and force, but once the fraud is exposed, they must rely exclusively on force. George Orwell. Wow, that's powerful, Cheeseburger. Someone in my fam went from atheist yoga women's rights activist to Islam. Weird way to find God. Okay, that's unique. That is very unique. Okay. Seems disingenuous default culture or appropriation. Yeah, they don't care about Nuremberg. They literally say it's not the same thing. It is the same thing. For someone to do that, exactly. Someone is forcing you to participate in something, and you don't have the right to say no. Those people who were thrown in prisons didn't have a right. Yes, so many people have died. Yes. It's wild to actually be in it and to see how many have no idea still. They skirt the massive, yes, it is exactly. It is a mass hypnosis. And it's based on fear, people. Fear. They want people to be so afraid that you can't think. And then they say, well, when you're in a fearful state, and then someone, the devil comes in and say, oh, well, so-and-so did this. That's why you're scared. So it's to get people to hate each other. Okay. Everyone in my fam that took the juice had pills. Oh, wow. Pills, palsy, and other crap. Wow. And then they put them on drugs that restrict breathing on top of it. My 80-year-old gram survived the coof. And then her daughter wanted to get want her to get triple juiced after getting natural immunity. It would have killed her. Yeah, yeah. I heard that if you had gotten it and got an immunity after, if you survived it, to get the, you know, drink the bug juice on top of that, it's pretty much fatal. Yeah, you wouldn't leave a cloth bag over a grown plant. Yeah, exactly. It would die. It would die eventually. Yes, and that's what's happening. They don't want you to see logic anymore. They don't want you to see it. They're doing all these things to cause harm. And all because they weren't, they didn't say no early in life. So this, this whole thing is teaching me, now that I'm thinking about it even more, that see, if we said no right away, if we said no right away 4 years ago, I think we would have been in a better state. But see, now it got out of hand. Dr. Frankenstein is not having a field day. People, we need to wake up. We need to wake up. And we need to be more sensitive to each other. You know, because see, we all, you know, many of us are afraid. It's okay to be afraid. They want us afraid. And then, oh, what's I going to say now? But fear causes us to not be able to think straight. We're not thinking straight. And fear could make you sick. So I really hope. I mean, I love. I love my country because I'm born here. But as I mentioned in the very beginning, that my I was people I'm thinking about leaving New York City. I don't feel safe here anymore, and I'm just sad. I'm sad about how everything is happening here, and I shared in the beginning of this live stream. I mean, I was thinking about learning about the island of Madeira. Madeira is owned by Portugal. And there's a lot of videos, what you call expats, black expats, who many of them gone to Portugal. Um, but I'm thinking more of, yeah, I mean, I'm putting it out there. I mean, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm getting some things together here. But I want to know, anybody know people in Madeira, the island of Madeira? Are they? Do you know what different neighborhoods or See, I have my three little dogs, and these are my babies, my little dogs. I have to bring them with me. If anyone have advice about traveling with dogs, I've been trying to find places, companies that know about relocating dogs, pets. And two of my pets have flat faces. So some airlines, if you have a flat faced dog, because of breathing issues, they're not allowed. So I have two of my three dogs have a flat face, and one has a snout. So if you know of carriers, people who companies who do this for a living, if you can make recommendations for me in the comments below, or if you can help me research it, and later on you can write on my this live stream once it's up, um, any advice about traveling. I want to relocate, and I'm thinking about the island of Madeira. I'm My great grandfather was allegedly from there. He was a Portuguese man, and they always said how beautiful the sunsets there, and that's kind of why I want to go there. And it does look beautiful. I the weather there is mild. It's very hilly though. I have to mind it. It's very hilly, but it's something I've been thinking about. But if any of you, as a black woman though, I am a black woman, but that's part of my background. But if any of you know of places that, as a black woman, um, what place would be, that is dog friendly, that is safe. Yeah, I did used to live on the island. I used to live in Hawaii. I lived there alone, but it wasn't cracked up, was it, as it used to, as I thought it would be. I mean, I went there for economic reasons. It served its purpose, but I have to. Uh, Things were really financially really tight. I'm a little better. I'm in a better position right now in that aspect of my life. And I've been here back to New York City now for 20 plus years. And it's not, I feel I'm growing out of it. I mean, I love New York City, but it's very dangerous as a single woman. It's filthy. Um, you had rats running all over. Yeah, they're rats. And I said, I had a, I really would like to stay, but I want to leave too. I mean, I love my apartment. I have a great deal here. I mean, it's great. I mean, I have a lot of good things that I have here, but socially, it's I don't like it anymore. I'm not safe. So that's why I'm thinking about the move. I'm scared. I'm scared, but I, I'm toying with the idea, and I'm sharing this with my viewers. Um, what advice you can give me, and yeah, let me know. Let if any of you know about places like when you go there in the process to get resident status, I have to find a place and contract that place for 6 months. So I want something, a nice, ideally, I would love to leave in October. But that's 9 months from now. I would love to leave here October 1st. I mean, fly over there, be in whatever place that I decide October 1st. But I may have to wait until next year in April to move. So, that's a big difference. That's like 6 months difference. And financially, that would make a big difference too. It will. Um, but ideally, I would love to leave, or maybe just try it out for a couple of months, and then come back here and then finalize everything. That I can do also. I could possibly do that also. Um, Yeah, so it's something that I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about, as I said, Madeira. That's where my great grandfather's from. He always talked about how beautiful the land, the sun is there. It's a nice place. It's not, it's physically, it's not extreme weather. And they're into plants there. I love nature. It has a very nice natural beauty. I mean, they say Portugal is inexpensive, but Madeira is a part of Portugal, but it's an island off of Portugal, outside of Portugal. Um, but how is the economics there? Is it very expensive there? That's what I want to find out. And if any of you guys and gals who could maybe find that information for me, I'm trying to get the information myself as well. But each one teach one. If anyone is just good at finding out information, or maybe you had family or friends that lived there, or maybe you had vacation there, let me know get some insight. Someplace, I don't want to go to a place that hates black people, you know. I want to feel safe, and I want to feel like, hey, I could live here. It'd be me and my little dogs. So I want a place that's dog friendly. So if anybody knows of places, so I want to look into it ahead of time. So if anyone know of places that is dog friendly, I have 3 little dogs. Um, I want to find a community that would be relatively safe for, I want a safe place. Um, yeah, I want like a retirement home. I would be going as a retiree over there. Yeah, so I'm not intending. I'm not. Won't be looking for work there. Anything like that. Yeah, let me look at these comments. I missed some of the comments here. Okay, okay. I still want to move to the Himalayas. Nope, don't know anyone on that island. An island would be nice. I would love trying to farm on island coral. Must be so much different. Okay. In reality, if I move anywhere, it's gonna be okay. Oh, I don't know what that means. Your last comment, I'm not sure what that means. Oh, you mean Maine? That you want to move to Maine in the U.S.? Okay. Yeah, yeah. I think it's a time. See, sometimes we may be afraid to move because family might say, "Oh, why are you leaving us?" But if they're not doing anything for you, oh, I didn't know that. Okay, thank you, cheeseburger. Thank you for telling me what that means. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, I want something. See, racism is a big part of my experience. I had an opportunity to live in different states, and racism, see, racism, uh, you might be around, let's say, 100 people. It only takes that one person to screw you over. So racism is not necessarily what everybody's doing to you. It's what the ones that do what they do is the issue. And you have jealousies and mixed with racism. They both go hand in hand. I think racism has to do with people's insecurities and jealousies of other groups. And I just want to live a nice life. I want to be around nature. I want to get in get in contact with more, spiritual lifestyle. I know that sounds really new agey, but I realize this physical world. I mean, you know, you have people who are just about money, about the system, and how to, they're not about relationships. They're about taking and controlling others. And I'm not about that. I don't want to live a lifestyle like that. Um, I want to just, I want to just be grateful and be in thanks. Give thanks when I eat my food. I want to give thanks to the Creator that I have life. I could have been in a worse situation, people. Yeah. Oh, I see the sun is about to come out. Yeah, the sunrise. This is dawn. Yeah, it's probably almost 7 o'clock. Yeah, it's about 7 right now. Yeah, the sunrise around 7:18 in the morning. So right now this is the dawn. Good morning, dawn of the day. Yeah, see that you notice the sky is getting brighter and brighter. It was just dark a moment ago. Now it's getting lighter. You see that? Yeah, so this is you see my little planter here? Yeah. So yeah, this is a beautiful scene. I love dawn of the day. I love doing my videos at this time because I'm more relaxed. And I just find it that fascinating seeing that the sun comes out. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, a lot of people may feel that they're obligated. See, that's another thing that we're women in general, men too, but women in general have to be the one left behind, and that it's up to us that we have to. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, people. Okay, it's back on. Yeah, see again, I don't want us to always deny ourselves. I'm not saying being selfish, but it's okay. It seems like it's okay for other people to be selfish, to have needs and wants. I'm saying for 2022 that it's okay to say no, and it's okay to say, I want to do this for my life. It's your life, not theirs. It's your life, and you have a right to live your dreams and fantasies. So long it doesn't hurt anybody else, or if it's exploitive. Don't exploit people. Do good to others, and do good to yourself. It's okay to have desires and to pursue them. And that, yes, people might be sad that you move, whatever. But, if someone really wants to keep in contact with you, there's Zoom, there's email, all these things that you can contact people with. But people like things ready made, they want to be catered to, you know? And it's like, wait a minute, you really want to see me? Okay, we can have, come visit. But see, they don't want to pay the money, but they want you there. Okay, they want you over where they are. You can't keep your cake and eat it too, And it takes two in a relationship. It takes two, it takes both effort. I'm saying, for 2022, that it is okay to say no if that's what you really mean. No. And it's okay to fulfill your fantasies. It's okay to want safety. It's okay to say, I want to place these boundaries in my life, and I know there's a price attached to that. And yes, folks, some of the thing might be, dangerous. They might say, hey, you can't live here anymore. Oh, you lose your job. Seek out other people who also want to say no, to form community. Community. So you don't feel alone. We all need each other in some form. I'm no different than most people, but I just express my feelings. I don't want to I don't want you to think I'm some superwoman. I have feelings. I get vulnerabilities. And so I come to you two to be real. People aren't real anymore. People don't want to share what's in their heart. And so people have to have a fake exterior. They wear fake hair, fake boobs, fake behind, fake everything. I want to be real. I want to go look in the mirror and say, I love you. I respect you. We need to respect our boundaries. And it's okay to say no. You say, I don't like that. Hey, I know people say, oh, I like to go to Brazil. Well, it's okay when you go there. You say, it's not what it's cracked up to be. It's not cracked up as as they say it's supposed to be. And it's okay to say, I don't like that particular culture or lifestyle choice. It's not for me. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means it's not good for you. And that's what I had to tell myself when I lived in Hawaii. I told and I shared this story. It was a lot of economic hardship I was facing, and then a family member. Well, a, yeah, I consider her family. I consider the person. Sorry about that. Yes, yeah. See, it's getting brighter and brighter. Yeah. So I try to make this quick now. Yeah, I was on the floor crying. Yeah, I was sitting on the floor crying about, my friend dying and my economic situation. I was very stressed out. And I said to myself, because I didn't tell anybody what was going on. And I asked myself very frankly. Now, there are a lot of things that I loved about Hawaii. I lived on the island of Maui. And I asked myself, I said, do I really like it here, or do I want to stay here because I want to be able to tell people that I live in Hawaii and try to show off. So I said, I don't like it here. So I came back to New York City. Yeah. I don't regret it. I do sometimes think about the place. I mean, physically it's very beautiful, but it's a lot of racism. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm being real, people. It's a very prejudiced place against black people, black Americans. Here, Hawaii it's a state. It is an American state. Was it the 50th state? And is very prejudiced against American blacks. And to be discriminated against from another so called minority is a mind blowing thing. I also lived in the Caribbean, and they were very blunt over there too. And to be discriminated and hated against there by black people. It's amazing, people. It's amazing. Yeah. So part of me, if someone's going to hate you, going to hate you. But it hates more, for me, from another so-called minority or person of color. So I guess that's why, in part, that um, my desire to go to a place like you, I like a good standard of living. Yeah, I live in America, and I have a certain. Okay, sorry, sorry, it was just glitching, buffering again. Sorry about that. What I was gonna say, how many of you like showering in cold water? Honey, I love my hot water. How many of you want to, I mean, I want a toilet, I want a hot shower. Uh-huh. You want all those good things. How many people want to walk on a sidewalk? How many people want to live in a warm place in the winter, in the cold season, and a cool place in the summer? You want comfort. It's not being spoiled. How many people want food to eat? You want safe food. You know, many places you can't eat their food because it's not good for you. Because, even the water. Some places you cannot, you better not drink the water. So, yes, I want to live in a place where the food I can drink, I can have safety in what I eat, and to have a hot shower or a hot bath if I want one. So, yes. So, any of you who have ideas of places or recommend places that would be relatively safe for a single woman with three little dogs, that would be, a place I could consider. And as I had said earlier, one of the places I'm considering is the island of Madeira. It is a part of Portugal. Portugal is a country in Europe, but Madeira is an island off the coast of Africa, northwest Africa, that that is owned by Portugal, and it's a very beautiful place. I love nature. I want to be around nature. That is my desire. Like, see, New York City here is a plastic jungle, what you call a concrete jungle, and people aren't respecting nature. And I'm a nature I want to be around nature. For me, nature is God. The beauty of nature and the elements. I want to be closer to that. I feel what sustains you, you need to be connected to. What sustains you, you need to be connected to. And with this, sorry, they did again. They did that again. Okay, I hope you guys could hear me. They want us to become artificial people. They want us to become robots. Yeah. Okay, the numbers are moving now. Yes, as I was saying, they want to disconnect us from nature, and they want us to become artificial people. They want us to become part of the cyber world and to live in the metaverse. Don't do it, people. Do not. Just say no. Just say no to the metaverse and becoming a downloading your brain, your mind in a computer. Don't do it. It is a trap, in my opinion. It is a trap to enslave your mind. Don't do it. Okay, just let me read the last comments here before I go. Feed dropped. Have a good day. Okay, yeah. So yeah, thank you, cheeseburger. Yeah, I gotta be going now. I've been on here for a while. I just really needed to share with you my feelings. I wanted to be honest with you guys about the saying no, and I had to say no recently to someone in my family. And sometimes you could feel guilty saying no, but I'm telling you guys that it's okay to say no at times. It's okay if you mean no, then you should have the right to say no. Um, and it's about standing your ground, uh, keeping your boundaries, and having those boundaries respected. And that just because you say, there's a price to pay to say no, but saying yes is a price to pay to say yes as well. They don't really respect you even when you say yes. And that's what I learned growing up. That's what I learned. So I thank you again that, yeah, the sunrise is, yeah, it's a cloudy day right now. And, yeah, sunrise is, oh, okay, so sunrise now. I welcome the sunrise. Yes, good morning, sunrise. I'm looking at the time. It says 7:22. Yeah, I think sunrise is at 7:18 in New York City, you know. So I welcome the sunrise. Peace, love, joy, and power to you all. And I'll appreciate any help, any suggestions you can give me regarding my interest in possibly relocating. Ideally, I would love to live in October of this year. That's in 9 months. But I may have to leave next year in April when my lease is up. Yeah. So either way, this is my desire. And those of you who want to support me and my channel, you can do so through PayPal me. My PayPal me link is on the top right of this, the banner of this channel. This channel's name is Spirit Journey. And those of you who want to contribute, you just click on the link, follow the prompt, and any amount would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Yeah, if I move, folks, I'm going to be needing to really save up money. And any of you who has a heart to, I know it's hard for everybody these days financially, it's hard for everybody. But whatever what you could afford in my desire to move, or even if I stay here, um, whatever what you're able to financially give to me, I greatly will appreciate it. Yes, peace, love. Oh, my voice is going. Yes, peace, love, joy, and power to all of you. And I hope I made sense in the length of this video. And those of you who didn't hear the beginning, you could, always scroll to the beginning. And yes, my videos are really meant for, to listen to in the background or something. Like say you're washing dishes or doing laundry, whatever, to have it on in the background and just to, hear someone's thoughts. And I'm glad that I'm able to share with you. It's always a pleasure sharing from my heart. That's one thing in this channel. I share my heart. It's unscripted. I speak out of my heart. And that's how I've always been. And that's the way I want to stay. Um, it's fun doing this, this style. Um, so again, I'm going to say, close this live stream. Again, I appreciate you all. It's always fun to come on live with you guys and gals, okay? So stay safe. Investigate for you what you want to do in your life, what you want to do to empower you. It's all about empowerment, self empowerment. More power to you. Peace, love, joy, and power to all of us. Okay? Thank you again. Until next time soon, I hope. Okay? Bye bye.